Hello guys, welcome to another video on the CCNP security exam, and I'm still working on the SIMOS or SIMOS or SIMOS, whatever you want to call it, 300-209, and I'm already done with the site-to-site VPN configurations. On the last one, which is the FlexVPN, Hope spoke on both IPv4, and I haven't done IPv6, but we are doing IPv4 using the local 888 authorization, which is going to be a really fun lab that we're going to be doing today. And let's go back to over here. What the AAA is going to be doing is it's going to be authorizing the tunnels so they can get an IP address from the hub. And you guys are going to see that. So let's go ahead and start with this configuration. I always start from the hub. Before I do that, I want to make sure that I have connectivity. So from the hub, I'm going to ping router 1, 2, and 3. I'm able to ping router 1, router 2, and router 3. So that's good. We have connectivity. So now let's go ahead and start with this configuration first. I want to make sure that I have my do show run or do show IP interface brief. I want to make sure that I have my loopback configured because I'm going to be doing a IPR number and I'm going to be borrowing that IP address from here. So it is there. That's good. So before we start with anything, I want to create I want to start AAA, and the way you do that is by doing a AAA new matter. After we do that, we need to do it AAA, not authentication, authorization, network. So we want to authorize from the network, and we want to authorize using this FlexVPN underscore list that we are going to be creating. And it's going to be a local list. After that, I want to create a couple of local um, pool, and this one is going to be um, I'm going to call it Flex VPN pool. And since I'm going to be borrowing this loopback address, I want to provide um, IP addresses on the same ranges for the um, tunnel interfaces because the tunnel interfaces are going to communicate to the hub and they are going to get an IP address from this hub. Okay, and you guys are going to see that in a little bit. Dot 8.8.12. That's going to be my range. So from this range, I'm going to be providing, actually, let's do it higher. Let's just do 15 just in case. It says that it overlaps. Why don't we just say no, and then we go back and say 15. Didn't I just say no? There we go. Hmm. It's still giving me the same IP ranges overlap. Let's do a do show IP local. Do show IP local pool. There we go. So we still have this one pool over here. I was not able to delete this. Um, so we have 4 free ones, and I want to add more. What if we do no IP local pool flex VPN pool? There we go. Okay, there we go. So let's go ahead and do it again because I want to have more. So IP local pool flex VPN from 8.8.8.9 all the way to 8.8.15. Good. And then if we do show IP local, there we go. Now we have 7 free ones that we could use for R1, R2, and R3 tunnel interfaces. Okay. So after we do that, what what I have to do is I have to go into the crypto IKEv2 authorization policy, and I'm going to be using the default policy. I'm not going to be configuring it. And from the default policy, I want to attach that Flex VPN pool. So we do pool, and we want to attach the Flex VPN pool that we created. There we go. Okay. So that's good. Um, that's it for now. So let's go ahead and exit. And now I want to go ahead and create my tunnel by virtual interface. Virtual template, let's call it 8. Oops, keep making too many mistakes. There we go. It's going to be a type tunnel interface. Why cannot, can we say no interface type tunnel? Do show IP interface brief. No interface virtual access 1. It is still there. Interesting. That's fine. Let's go ahead and create just another one. Interface type or interface virtual. Sorry for this template, and we're going to just use 88. It's going to be a type tunnel. Doesn't matter what number I give it. And from here, what I want to do is do a tunnel mode GRE. It's going to be IP, and this tunnel mode GRE IP means that we're going to be creating a point-to-point connection because it's going to be a hub to spoke, so it's going to be only one connection, right? Hub to spoke, so it is going to be a GRE IP, which means that it is going to be a point-to-point. Then we can do the source, which is gigabit 00, and then after that we're going to do IP on number, and this IP on number I'm going to take it from loopback 0, and that means is that I'm going to borrow the same IP address that this loopback is using. So if I do show IP interface brief, you're going to see that I have it right here. My template 88 is using the same one as loopback 0. Okay, so I'm borrowing the same IP address because I don't want to use another IP and just waste it, right? I want to use the same um, another one that somebody's using, like loopback 0. Okay, so after that is done, we need to go ahead and configure IKEv version 2. And to start with that, you need to configure the keyring, and then you need to configure the IKEv version 2 profile, and then the IPSec profile, and also the transform set and all that good stuff. So let's go ahead and start with that configuration. The first one is going to be crypto IKEv version 2 keyring. We're going to call this IKEv2. Um, IKEv2 keyring. That's what we're going to call it. So we need to now add all the peers that I'm going to be connecting to. The first one is going to be router 1. The address of router 1 is going to be 192.168, or not 168. It's going to be this one right here, the NBMA IP address, which is that 1.10.1. And we need to do a pre-share key that we're going to be using. And the local one is going to be the DMVPN key. And I'm going to keep the same keys for all of them so I don't get confused. And then let's go ahead to router 2. The IP address is going to be 20.1 because that's the one that's configured over here. You're going to be using the same pre-share key for the remote, the same for the local as well. Then we go ahead to router 3. IP address is different, 30.1. You're going to be using the same remote key and the same local key. So the keyring has been configured. Now we can go ahead and configure the IKEv version 2 profile. So IKEv2 profile, this one is going to be called IKEv2 profile. So from over here, I want you to do identity, local address. So my local address is going to be 192.1.80.1. And then we need to match a couple of remote identities, which is going to be 192.1.10.1. Always forget to put address in front of it. And then we need to do 20.1 and then 30.1 for those remote identities. right? And then we need to add the local keyring, which we call IKEv2 keyring. So we need to attach it. We also need to attach that virtual template, which we call 88. There we go, virtual template 88. And then we need to do authentication. For the local is going to be pre-share key, and authentication for the remote is also going to be pre-share key. And then we do AAA authorization. Um, and then we need to do the group pre-share key list, and we need to add that list that we created earlier, which was, let's see if we have it. This one right here, FlexVPN underscore list, the AAA authorization network that we created. Paste, and at the end you want to add default because we are using um, the default um, for um, we are using the default crypto IKEv2 authorization policy, which has the pool FlexVPN attached to it, and that's how the spokes are going to be able to get this um, IP addresses, this ranges of IP addresses. Okay, so that is good. Let's see what else we need to do. And I believe that's it. We did the identity, keyring, authorization, match for all three, the local, so we are good. So we are done with IKE version 2 profile. Now, let's go ahead and configure we need to go ahead and configure the crypto IPSec transform set, and I'm going to be calling this tset, and it's going to have an ESP AES256 for encryption, and then ESP SHA with HMAC for data integrity. Done. Now we need to go ahead and create the crypto. We are going to add the crypto IPSec profile, and this one's going to be called IPSec profile. Need to spell it right, profile. And from right here, we need to attach the transform set, which we call tset. And also we need to attach the IKEv2 profile, which we call IKEv2 underscore profile, I believe. Let's go ahead and go up and take a look. IKEv2 profile. Yep, there we go. So after that is done, what we need to do, we need to go ahead and do a router EIGRP 10, no auto summary, and we need to add a couple networks. The first one is going to be the 8.8.8.0 because this one is going to be the tunnels, right? The tunnel for the hub is already borrowing an IP address from this interface, this loopback interface, 8.8.8, and then the rest of them are going to be in the same network, so I need to add this network. And then I need to add for the hub, it's going to be 80.80.80.88, which I'm going to create right now. Loopback 88, IP address of 88.88.88.88, 255.255.255.255. Good. And now we need to go ahead and into that interface virtual. Let's go ahead and exit out of here first. Interface virtual virtual template, which we call 88. It was a type tunnel. And from here, we need to do no IP split horizon, EIGRP10. If you do know what that means, if you do not know what that means, you should go ahead and search it or go into my YouTube channel and watch my other videos where I explain it. Okay, and then we do a tunnel protection using IPSec, and we're using the profile, and we need to go ahead and attach that IPSec profile. And that should bring up the ISAC amp. As you can see, it is now on. Great, so we are done with the configuration of the hub. And if we do a show run section crypto, we can see everything we have configured from the IKEv2. And what I want to do, I just want to go ahead and copy all of this. We're going to copy it, and we're going to open LeafPad. And on LeafPad, we're going to go ahead and paste that over here. And we're going to clear this a little bit up because from the router 1, whenever we configure router 1, we only need one connection. And that one connection is going to be to the hub only, right? And that IP address of the hub is going to be 80.1. Everything is going to be the same. The remote identities, we only need one remote identity, and it's going to be the one of the hub. So 80.1, and the local identity is going to change to 10 because we're doing the router 1. We're now going to be using the virtual template because we're now going to be configuring a virtual template, and everything is going to stay the same. So I'm going to put this to the side, and let's go ahead and configure router 1. So let's go ahead and do, first of all, let's go ahead and configure a loopback interface of 11, an IP address of 11.11.11.11.11, exit. And after we do that, we need to go ahead and configure or start the AAA technology. And then we need to do a AAA authorization network, and we're going to be calling this FlexVPN. We need to spell this right, FlexVPN underscore list. We're going to be using the local because this is how we are going to get that IP address from the hub. It's going to be through this AAA authorization network FlexVPN list. Okay, so that is done. Let's go ahead and go into configure interface tunnel 1. And tunnel 1 is going to have a tunnel mode of GRE over IP, which is a point-to-point tunnel. Tunnel source is going to be gigabit 0/0. Tunnel destination is going to be the IP address of the hub, right? And then we're going to do IP address negotiated, and this means that we are going to negotiate that that IP address with the hub, and the hub is going to provide us with that IP address. Remember that we configure that. If we go ahead over here and we go show IP local pool, you're going to see that it's going to be negotiated with the hub, and the hub is going to assign an IP address from these ranges right here. Okay, so that is great. So after that, what we need to do is we need to go ahead and configure IKEv2, and since I have it already on LeafPad, which is this one right here that I put on the side, I want to make sure that everything looks good. FlexVPN. Um, let's see. We don't need this right here because the pool is being provided by the hub. But we need the rest, which is the keyring, IKEv2 profile, the transform set, and the IPSec profile. So let's go ahead and copy all of it and go over here to router 1 and paste everything. There we go. Good. No errors. We did not get any errors. That is good. So since we did not get any errors, what we need to do is now go ahead into the interface tunnel 1, and we need to add that tunnel protection IPSec profile, and we need to attach that IPSec profile that we just created. Copy, paste, and that should turn on ISAC amp. It is on. The interface came up. You can go to the hub and you can see that we have now a virtual interface. If you do a show IP interface brief, now we have the access to, which has this IP address, the same IP address that the template is using, right? So if we now do a show IP local pool, you can see that now we have 1 in use and 6 free IP addresses, right? So that means that we negotiated. Remember that negotiated command that we put in the interface tunnel? It was negotiated. And now if we do a do show IP interface brief, we should have IP address 8.8.8.9 configuring this tunnel because it was negotiated with the hub. Okay, so now what we could do, we can do a router EIGRP 10, no outer summary, network 11.11.11.11, and then network 8.8.8.0, and that should form a neighbor relationship. There we go. So now we also have a neighbor relationship. If we do show IP EIGRP neighbors, we should see that we have an EIGRP neighbor. If we do a show IP route EIGRP, we can see now that we have um, a route to 80.88.88.88.88, which is coming from the tunnel, okay, via 8.8.8.8, which is coming from the hub. So now we have a hub to spoke communication. If we go to the hub and do show DMVPN, we don't have anything. Show um, crypto IKEv2 SA. We have an SA. Do we have a crypto IPSec SA? We should have it as well. Um, and yes, we do. The crypto map tag is virtual access 2. The local IP address is the local uh, IP address of the hub, the NVMe IP address. You can see the local client. You can see the remote client, which is 192.1.10.1, which is router 1. You can see that how many packets are being encapsulated and decapsulated. And if we ping 88, let's go ahead to router 1. Let's ping 88.88.88.88. And let's ping it, repeat 100 times. And now if we go to, if we do a show crypto IPsec SA, you can see now that the packets went up by 100 because we pinged that source 100 times. So that means that it's being encrypted and decrypted 100 times. If we ping 100 more times and we go back to the hub and we do a show crypto IPsec SA again, you can see that the packets went up for 100 more because we sent 100 more packets and they were encrypted and decrypted. So it means that IPsec it is working and IKE version 2 it is working. All right, so that is good. Now let's go ahead into router 2 and do the same thing that we did with router 1. Okay, so let's go ahead and do AAA new model, AAA authorization network, and it's going to be using FlexVPN list, I believe, local. Let me verify that. That we're using, yeah, FlexVPN list local. So that's good. After we do that, we need to go into interface tunnel 2, tunnel mode GRE over IP, tunnel source, gigabit 00, right? Gigabit 00, tunnel destination. It's going to be 192.1.80.1, which is the one of the hub. And then we need to do IP address negotiated, so we can negotiate it with the hub, and the hub is going to provide us with that IP address. That's what IP address negotiator means. Okay, now if we bring up this IKE version 2 configuration, we're going to leave the keyring the same. The only thing that we need to change is this one right here, which is going to be 20.1, which is the local identity of router 2. Go ahead and copy this right here. And let's go ahead and paste it. No errors. That means it's good. Right? Yep. So now let's go and also do an IP address loopback 2. It's going to an IP address of 222.22.22, 255.255.255. Exit. Let's do a router EIGRP 10 Actually, before we do that, let's go into interface tunnel 2 and do a network. Let's do not a network. We need to do a tunnel protection IPSec profile, and we need to attach a profile that was created. Oops, paste it right here. Then ISACAM should come up. Good. And now let's go ahead into router. Yeah, GRP 10. No auto summary. Network. We need to add 22.22.22.22. And then network. The network that we are on, right? Because if we do show IP interface brief, the network that that tunnel is on is this one right here. As you can see, we have negotiated a IP address with the hub, and the hub gave us this IP address. So if we do now a network 8.8.8.0.255, that should bring up the ERGRP configuration. Good, it is working. And if we go to the hub and we do a show IP or show, so show local, show IP local pool, which you see now that we have now 2 in use, 5 are still free, right? We are using 2 IP address, which is router 1 and router 2. Router 1 is using 8.8.8.9 and router 2 is using 8.8.8.10 right here. And router 1 not do show IP interface brief 8.8.8.8, 8.8.8.9 and 8.8.8.10. Good. So it is working. Okay. And also if we do go from the hub and we do show IP interface brief, you're going to see now that we have access to, and this one is the one that has the connection with router 1, and access 3 has a connection with router 2. And we can verify that by doing show crypto IPSec SA. You can see that the first one, access 2, has a connection with the remote identity of the 192.1.10.1, which is router 1. And if we scroll down and we go to the other one, you can see that virtual access 3 has a connection with 192.1.20.1, which is router 2. So now let's go ahead and configure router 3. And we do the same thing that we did in router 1 and router 2. So let's go ahead and do AAA new model, AAA authorization, authorization network, FlexVPN underscore list, local. Okay, now we're going to interface tunnel. We create a new tunnel. We're going to say that the tunnel mode is GRE over IP. Tunnel source is gigabit 00. Tunnel destination is going to be the hub. All right, and then we do IP address negotiated, so we can get that IP address from the hub, just like router 1 and router 2 did. Router 1 got 8.8.8.9, router 2 got 8.8.8.10, and router 3 is probably going to get 8.8.10, 8.8.11. Okay, and we're going to see that. So 8.8, so 8.8.8.11, that's the IP address that router 3 should get after we are done with the configuration. So let's go ahead into LeafPad. And the only thing that we need to modify is the local identity. Go ahead and copy all of this. We can just put it down, paste it. Good. Now let's go ahead and configure IP loopback, 33. And this one's going to get an IP address 33.33.33.33, 255.255.255.255. All right. And then the first thing I want to do is let's do a interface tunnel 3, and let's add the tunnel protection first. IPSec profile, IPSec profile is this one right here, paste, and then let's do a router, EIGRP 10, not route, router, and you can see that ISACamp is now on. And you can see if you go to the hub, you can see that the line virtual access 4 is now up. And that means, guys, is that we have now sent a new IP address. So if you do a show IP interface brief from the hub, you can see now that access 4 is up and running as well. And if we go to router 3, we do a do show IP interface brief, which you have IP address 8.8.8.11, like I said before. Good. Now let's do no auto summary. Let's add the two networks that we need to add, 33.33.33.33, and also network 8.8.8.0. And there we go. That brought it up. Um, if you do a show IP ARGRP neighbor, which you see that we have three neighbors, one with 8.8.8.9, to router 1, dot 10, router 2, dot 11, router 3, up and running. All of them with virtual interface 4, interface 3, and virtual interface 2. And each one of them got a different IP address or a different virtual interface because we're using DVTI. And DVTI, what it does is that it creates a new virtual interface per IPsec connection. So every VPN connection is going to have its own virtual interface. Okay. So also if you do a show IP or show crypto IPsec SA, we should see that virtual access 2 has a connection with router 1. And if you keep going down, you can see that virtual access 3 has a connection with router 2. And virtual interface 4 has a connection with um, the remote identity of 192.1.30.1, which is router 3. So everything is working the way we wanted it. So we are done with this configuration. So you had just learned how to configure DMVPN, a DMVPN connection using DVTI with IKE version 2, and also AAA authorization. So we were authorizing and giving out IP addresses if they were authorized to be on the network, right? So when the spokes say that they were authorized to be on the network, the hub provided them with an IP address in the 8.8.8.9 all the way to the 15 range, as we saw. So everything um, is working, and this is it for this video. And also, let's just do a show crypto IKEv2 SAs, which you see three connections, tunnel ID 1, 2, and 3. 3 has a connection with the local identity of 192.1.80.1, which is the hub, slash 500. This means that we are not using NAT, because if we were using NAT, we were going to be connected with the 4500 port, I believe. And this one is the remote for that connection, which is router 3. This one is for router 2. This one is for router 1. And you can see that we are using the encryption method of AES-CBC with a key size of 256 using SHA-512, Diffie Hellman Group 5, and it's all the same for all of them. Okay, so if we also do a show before we leave, show IP routes ERGRP, we should see that we have three ERGRP connections or three ERGRP routes, 1 to 11.11.11, which is via 8.8.8.9, which is router 1. We have another one to 22.22.22.22 via 8.8.8.10, which is router 2, and you can see that it's using virtual access 3. This one is using virtual access 2. This one is virtual access 4, and it is a connection to 33.33.33 via 8.8.8.11. Let's go into router 1 and do a show IP route ERGRP, and you can see that we also have connections over here to 8.8.8.10.11, the 22s, the 33s, and the 88s. But the only difference is that whenever we try to ping the spokes from any spoke, we are going to go via the hub. We always have to go via the hub. So if we do a trace route to from router 1, I want to ping, let's say router 3, 33.33.33.33, it's always going to go via the hub because we only have a hub to spoke connection. We don't have spoke to spoke connection, right? And if we also ping 22.22.22.22, it is also going to go via the hub because we do not have spoke to spoke tunnels. We only have spoke to hub. Therefore, all the traffic needs to go to the hub. And if the hub goes down, then the entire network goes down. Okay, so this is why we need to go ahead and configure a spoke-to-spoke communication as well, and we're going to be doing that on the next video. So if you enjoyed this video and if you like this video, why don't you just go ahead and follow me on Twitter at CCNA Daily Tips if you have a Twitter account, and if you do not have a Twitter account, go ahead and create one and then follow me on Twitter. Also subscribe to my channel, hit like, share this video. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next one, guys. Bye bye.